Using a visual for problem number 9, the original sine wave function would look like this for problem number 9. The negative sign would flip this graph over. So this graph gets flipped over like this. So that's for the negative, and now looks like this. And the minus 1/2 pushes it down a half a unit. There's half 1. So it pushes it down, and then it continues it. So let's look at number 10, thinking of it that way. The original sine graph would look like this. Okay, and I've also continued it back here. Now if this was a +1, it would shift it up 1 unit. If it was a -2, it would shift it down 2 units, so it would look something like this. But this one isn't on the outside, it's in here. So we should know that that shifts it left or right. If it's minus pi over 2, we know that shifts it pi over 2 units. So instead of being right here, it would shift it to right here. So now what we have is that 0, instead of being a 0, it now becomes the -1. So this becomes the -1, and then it goes to 0, and then at pi, we would now be at 1, and at 3 pi over 2, we're at 0, and at 2 pi, we are now at -1. So all the values from the original table have shifted 1 spot to the right on the table. So this is what the graph will look like now. So we have -1, 0, 1, 0, and -1 right there. And then of course if we continued the table, then we would finally get back here. So here is one cycle of the sine wave, but ours started right here and ended right here. So it's just a shift of that sine wave. Either pi over 2 units is what we did here, or if it was plus pi over 2, then we would shift it back 1, or if it was a plus pi, then we would shift it 1, 2 units, or minus pi rather, we would shift it that far like that.